Alright, yo, what is up guys? This is Brute, and this is the Xycraft mod spotlight that I'm doing for my channel. Xycraft is an awesome mod. It's a mechanism mod, or like industrial-ish mod. It's on the Feed the Beast mod pack, the Direwolf 21. I know he's a big fan of this one, and he plays with the creator of this mod, so this is a really fun mod. Okay, so what we're going to take a look at first is the world gen, and this is what spawns in Xycraft, these blocks right here, these and this. And what these are called is, as I go into non-creative mode and just really quickly give myself a pickaxe. Alright, and what these are called is Xycorium. And they come in these 5 different colors: blue, green, and red. And I'm just gonna mine these all up to show you that sometimes you can get varying amounts. So like you can get, depending on how many there were, you can get, let's see, like 3, 4, 4, 4. So usually 3 or 4 is Xycorium. And then these are aluminum, and this is a quartz crystal. Now, there's a special property about this quartz crystal that I'm going to show you guys really quickly, that it can damage you. So these are going to be good for like mob traps and stuff like that, but for right now I'm just going to mine it up, and that's what it looks like in the inventory. And these are those Xycorium blocks, and these are used to make a bunch of things, so we can check out their crafting recipes and what they're used to make. So first thing they're used to make is this light Xycorium block, and depending on what color you use, you'll get a different block. So the next thing that they're used for is to make Xycordite. So if you smelt them in a furnace, you'll get the responding color of Xycordite. And these are just a bunch of other representations of the furnace. So that's cool. That's what we can do with that. But what can we do with those? So as you can see, these are the Xycordite blocks that I showed you that you can turn the Xycordite into. So I'm just trying to, let's go back into creative, and I'll select one, and I'm only going to select one just to show you the crafting recipe. There's the crafting recipe, so you can use the Xycorium to make a block, or you can use the Xycordite to make a block. Alright, so that's cool. The next block that we have for you, as I throw this away into the NEI, is the Xycordite platform, and this is made using an iron ingot and some aluminum, which you get from just smelting down aluminum like so. Or I hit U. Oh, U is uses. Alright, so you smelt it down into aluminum and use it to make Xycorium platforms, or Xycordite platforms. So you use an iron ingot, 4 Xycordite of any color, and you'll get the corresponding block, and then aluminum. And they have to be the same color to make it. So that is that. And then we have the Xycordite plate. Alright, and the crafting recipe is an obsidian, 4 stone bricks, and 4 Xycordite of any color. So you can get these color plates just like these blocks back here. Next we have the Xycordite shield. Now this one, if I'm not mistaken, you're actually going to need Xycordite plates to make them, and 5 iron ingots. So these get a little expensive if you're low on iron and if you're low on Xycordite, but they're just really neat blocks, and they have cool properties to them, which I will share later. And then we have these, which are also awesome blocks, which are called structure blocks. Now these are awesome because these you can make any color, actually. As you can see, there's some funky colored Xycordite or structure blocks down there, and instead of using a specific color of Xycordite, you can use any color and any form of bricks like stone bricks that you can find, so like cracked or mossy or anything like that. And I'm actually gonna look up some structure blocks right now and show you that you can make a bunch of different colored structure blocks. Like there's any dye that you can make that color of structure block. So that's really neat. And I said that these have cool properties. So one of the cool properties that they have is they glow. So I'm gonna turn it quickly to nighttime here. And alright, so it's dark out, and even though it's dark out, these blocks are still glowing. Now, when I say glowing, I don't mean they emit light. So I'm gonna grab a sulfur torch here, throw it down, and see how the torch emits light, but the blocks do not. And so I can throw down the torch and show you each. And yeah, so the blocks do not emit light, but they do glow. So you can still kind of see around them, but it won't stop mobs from spawning. On the other hand, or spawning around them, I should say. But on the other hand, as you can see, any of these blocks that glow, like that have this glowing texture, like the normal Xycraft blocks do, these mobs will not be able to spawn on them. So if you build yourself a nice dark room with these blocks, which you can really build nice looking structures with these dark blocks, no mobs will be able to spawn inside of that structure. So you can build them purely out of this thing, and no mobs will spawn unless you put like normal like world gen blocks, like cracked sand or anything like that. So those are these blocks. They're pretty cool, and they're actually used only for decoration and just to look good. But we have more uses for Xycraft that I will be able to show you. So, and there's one more block that I forgot to show you guys, and it is called the engineering block and engineering brick. And you can make 5 different colors of the engineering brick. This is the red engineering brick, and it takes the corresponding color of Xycraft, any bricks that you can get, and then redstone. So those are the engineering bricks. Alright, so the next block I want to show you is this nifty block that I have in my inventory, and it is called the fabricator. Alright, so the reason that I had to show you the engineering bricks first is it takes blue engineering bricks, 3 stone, a crafting bench, and an iron ingot. And these things are really cool because they are essentially a crafting table, but not just any sort of crafting table. These are a automatic crafting table. So what I say when I mean automatic is you have a bunch of little different interfaces with this right now, but I'm just going to show you really quickly. Right now, these aren't blocks in here. These are ghost blocks. And so right now that is fulfilling the crafting recipe for a chest. So I'm going to throw some planks in here and give a redstone signal to this because that's the mode I have it on right now. So I'm just going to grab a lever, throw one in my inventory, and give this a redstone signal. And what's going to happen is, as you can see, the crafting recipe popped up, and it turned all my oak planks into chests. So that is the automatic crafting of that. So it's really neat. It can auto craft, and depending on what mode you have it on, it'll do different auto crafting things. So I need to get planks, and alright, so we're gonna make some more of these, but I'm gonna switch it to auto low. So the different things on this side, on the left side here, show how it's gonna craft or when it's gonna craft. So this auto low means it will automatically produce anything that it can from this side of the crafting, or excuse me, if it's given a recipe in here, it'll automatically craft whatever in here using the materials that you give it on the right side. So if I give it more planks, right now we have or I thought we had a redstone signal going to it. That might be a bug. But it automatically crafted the chests for me. So I'm gonna grab some more planks. Let's see it. That's giving it a redstone signal right now, so I don't know why it's automatically crafting still. So that might be a bug. But anyways, so I'm going to switch it to pulse mode so you can figure out what auto high does. Auto low, it's when it doesn't receive a redstone signal. Auto high is when it is receiving a redstone signal, Xycraft. And pulse mode is it will craft every time it receives a redstone signal. Okay, so I had the torch or the lever the wrong way. So see, it received a redstone signal there, and it crafted one chest. So I can flip this lever again, and see it crafted another chest for me. So let's see if this is okay. So it was on high. So let's get some more planks and show the auto low. See, right now it's not crafting. Turn this, and it crafted. It crafts really fast too, so you want to watch out for that. But if we take all these away, and let's see, what do we have in our inventory that we can make stuff out of? Let's get some iron, because that's a really good block to show off. It will just automatically craft, or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, I guess it used to be able to just automatically craft whatever from. It used to check if it could craft something. Oh, that's why. It was an automatic low. So let me take out this little bugs here and there in the recording. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it to auto high, and it should craft me some iron blocks. No? Okay. So you used to be able to just throw items in here and it would automatically craft without having to put a recipe in the side, but I guess that changed. Alright, so I'm going to show you some more cool things that I found that you could do, or more interesting things that the fabricator does. So a fabricator will pull from adjacent inventories, including other fabricators. So right now I have this set up with some copper and some rubber, and then in here is the crafting recipe for rubber, and I have that set to auto high, and then I should have this set to auto high as well. So I have in here the recipe for an electronic circuit and the other requirements in there. So right now I'm going to grab 2 more levers. We're going to see what I'm able to do with that. So I've got a bunch of levers. I'm going to shift click them onto here and just start. And as we can see, the recipe's popping up here, and we're given all our stacks of copper cables. Now I'm going to hit this one, and we're going to see the recipe pops up, and this is how many electronic circuits it was able to craft from the given adjacent inventory. See, all the redstone was used up, so we ran out of that. Alright, so that's a really cool item. I know you could make a whole bunch of different factory things out of these, like just chaining different fabricators together. So this could really come in handy when you're creating a high-tech item like solar panels multiple different times. I know HV solar arrays, you can make an awesome factory for those out of these things. So that's really cool if you're using the Feed the Beast mod pack. Alright, so the next block I want to show you is the inverted and normal lamps. So for this block, let's get it and see the crafting recipe. So we're going to grab the inverted white Xycraft, and this is, you can have some bleach drops or whatever. I use the white ones, so it's whatever colored dye you want the lamp to be, and whatever Xycraft blocks you have, some glowstone and 2 redstone torches, so it can accept the pulse. So and then the crafting recipe for the normal one, I'm gonna pick one up really quickly and check it out, and here we go. And it is just redstone, glowstone, and whatever dye you want, and Xycraft blocks. So they're pretty much, this one's redstone torches because it has to invert the signal, and this one is just redstone because if it takes the signal, it'll be on. So when this one's not receiving a redstone signal, it'll stay on. And when this one is receiving a redstone signal, it will stay on. So inverted, not inverted. So that's those 2 blocks. And these will emit light. Unlike the other blocks, these are lamps, so they will emit light. Awesome. Alright, so the next block I'm going to be showing you guys are some fun little blocks over here. And I need this little guy. Alright, so the next block I'm going to show you guys is something called the Xycraft ice. Or, yeah, Xycraft ice. And the crafting recipe for that is, not that, this. And it's a snowball with stone and some light engineering bricks. And this is a really cool block if you want some ice in your world, because all you have to do is place it and throw a water bucket next to it, and look at that, it made ice blocks. Alright, so I'm just gonna stop that source right there. And so any water that comes around it, it will turn into an ice source block. And a cool thing that I learned about this is, oh, I'm in creative, so it didn't work, but inside of these ice source blocks is water blocks. So if you try to break these water blocks without breaking the ice block will automatically turn them back into ice source blocks. So the way that you have to get rid of it is you have to break that and then the ice. If I wasn't in creative, it would work. So that's a nifty block. I bet there's a bunch of uses for that I haven't even thought of. Making an ice rink, building a house out of ice. So it can be a really cool block. Alright, the next block that I'm going to show you, I need a flint and steel, which I had in my inventory already. So I'm going to take this, and this is called the fire basin. And I'm going to grab one and show you guys the crafting recipe. And it is red engineering bricks, gunpowder, iron bars, and some stone. And then you have the alternative crafting recipe of a lava bucket in there. And some lava cells if you want. But, what this block does is it works like netherrack or nether brick in the fact that if I light it on fire, it will stay on fire forever until I put it out. So it will keep burning and burning and burning for all eternity. So if you want to make like a trash thing where you just throw stuff into fire, you don't want it to ever go out, this is a good use for that block. Or if you have some sort of trap built with fire, like where something opens up into a fire pit and you just want, yeah, it could be used for just a bunch of stuff. So it's a really cool block. It will never stop burning. Alright, so the next block I'm going to show you guys is a really cool one, and it is called Xycraft soil, and it is really cool. I'm going to show you the crafting recipe. It takes 4 saplings of any kind. These are a bunch of different saplings that are in Feed the Beast, because I'm playing Feed the Beast right now. Green engineering bricks and an iron ingot. So what this block works like is it works like a piece of tilled soil or anything you can plant a plant on. So I'm just going to show you guys. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to look for a cactus. Alright, there's a cactus and some sugarcane, just as a proof of that I can actually plant these things on it. So let's get that. Alright, so here is cactus growing on it, and here is some sugarcane. So with the sugarcane, it does not need to be near water. Same with any other plants, it won't need to be near water. This works like a tilled soil for any sort of plant that you can think of. Feed the Beast plant, potatoes, carrots, and all those things. So that's awesome. But not only does it work as any tilled soil or any block that you need to plant something on, it helps increase the growing rate of plants. So like if I plant this on here, it will actually grow quicker than if I normally planted a thing of sugarcane. And another neat thing about them is that they stack. So say I place a bunch of these on top of each other, they would actually increase the rate that it grows. So, and they'd add on to each other. So I don't know the exact numbers on this, but it doesn't do that much. Like you can have like 30 some of these stacked on top of each other, and like one of these will grow in 20 seconds. So to prove this, I have here, and I counted this out earlier, but I'll show you guys this time. My my y-axis is currently at 2, So that means it's 2 blocks above the start of the world. And then when I come up here, and it's a long flight back up, when I come back up here and land my feet on where the last block ends, my feet position is currently at 66. So that means I have 64 of these soil blocks here, all stacked on top of each other. So that means that it should be increasing the growing process by that many blocks. So I accidentally fell down in my hole, so I'm going to fly back up and plant this and wait for a little bit, and this should grow in a little bit of time. And this is just to show you guys how long it takes, because I have 64 of those down there. So, and see, sugarcane grew. So it took it like probably like 7 to 8, 10 seconds maybe. So yeah, it speeds it up, but not by that much. So I'm just gonna cover up that hole so I don't fall in it anymore. Alright, so what is left to show you guys? We can come over here. Alright, so this block is a really interesting block, and it is called the liquid void. As I grab myself one of them, I can show you the recipe. And the recipe is 4 black engineering bricks, or dark engineering bricks, 4 stone, and a empty bucket. Alright, and what this thing does is it is a really cool block in the fact that it will suck up any liquid that you try to place on it. So I'm trying to place lava on it, I'm trying to place water on it, and both of them are getting sucked up by the liquid void. Now, another neat thing about it is if I put lava right above it, see, the liquid void block is sucking, it's trying to flow down, but it's sucking all the lava that's trying to flow down. So it's in the world, it looks like it's not even there. So and this has some really neat properties that you can do to it or use it for. So I'm going to show you those really quickly. So I'm going to build a little structure around this like so. Try to get in there so this block can flow that way. Alright, so right now I have a little path underneath here, or I can dig one out just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm on fire because that flowed down. So these, oh crap, I just broke it, so let's replace another one. Oh, we made a mess. We made a big mess, guys. Alright, so let's do that and see if that cleared it out. Almost. See, this is why I gotta do this on creative, because I fub up here and there. Alright, so we're all cleaned up here. Good. Alright, so this is what I was trying to show you guys. This is kind of a little house thing that you can do. Put this on top of a stone house that you might have in Minecraft, and you can make a nice little lamp on the top of your house. And so that's really cool. And the same thing for water you could do. So if you wanted to have like an underwater house and you don't want to take the time to like build a house and then put water all over it and whatnot, you can have these pre-set up with water above them, or even you might even be able to, this is the first time I'm testing this out, but I'm gonna see if you can't just throw one of these straight in the middle of water and see how that works. So alright, so here we go. So these are water source blocks all around. I throw this down, and yes, it sucks up the blocks. So from the left to right, and so this could even clear out places for you in the water and in lava. So that's really awesome. So that is the last standalone block I believe I have to get to. And now we get to the meat and potatoes of this mod, the really cool portion, or what I at least think is a really cool portion of this mod, and that is the multi-block portion, which are the tanks. And okay, so with Xycraft tanks, they are really cool, and what you need to make a tank is something called a valve, and I have one right here. So I'm just going to show you the crafting recipe really quickly. It is blue engineering bricks, 4 blue engineering bricks, 4 iron bars, and a bucket. And you'll get 4 valves per time you make them, and they come in really handy. Xycraft tanks are really cool. So I have 2 models of Xycraft tanks. one being the smallest and one being the biggest that you can make. So the smallest you can make, as you can see, is a 3x3x3 tank. Okay, and right now all I have is glass viewing panes for this, and I can actually show you how to make those as well, and they're right here in my bar. And all it is an iron ingot and glass. And so as you can see over here, they don't show the borders if you connect them to one another. These are all glass viewing panes and not actual glass, so that's really cool feature about that. Anyways, so this is the smallest tank that you can make, but it's not really a tank right now because all I have is the glass viewing panes. What makes it a tank is when I break one of these and put a valve, and even then it's still not a tank. I have to initialize the tank. So by right clicking the valve, I initialize the tank, and so you can see that grid on it is the tank, and it's showing me that this is a multi-block structure and it is a tank. So I can right click it now and see that this is a multi-tank and it can hold 16 buckets or 16,000 millibuckets. So that's really good to know. And then I can throw like empty buckets in here, and whatever's in the tank it will fill those buckets with. Alright? And so this is really cool. This is a really small tank. It can fit 16 buckets, so that's really awesome. So if you have like a pump in the nether, you can pump lava into this via liquid ducts, which I can grab right here. So you could pump liquid ducts into this and it would accept it, and that's awesome. But you have to put it out of valve. So like I can't pump in here and then try to pump out here because there's not a valve here. Now these tanks can support multiple valves. So I could have a valve here and a valve here and pump in my liquid through this one and pump out through this one, but I have to initialize the tank. Also, another thing to note is that here I need some actual liquid inside of my tank right now. So I'm just gonna throw a liquid bucket or a bucket of water into it. And okay, so I have one bucket in this tank right now. And to show you guys that the blocks, what retains the information is not the blocks that you make it out of. So currently I have this made out of iron blocks, and I break that block and the tank goes away. But if I replace it with another block that you're able to make a tank out of, which is not cracked sand, that's another thing I might need to tell you guys, is you can't just make this out of any block. You can for the most part, so you can like see I have that one made out of Xycraft blocks and this one made out of iron blocks. You can make this out of pretty much any block you want, except for like sand or gravel, or like in this case cracked sand is what I was going to use there, but I can't. So I'm just going to grab a blue Xycraft block and toss it right there to show that I have a different block than the rest of them. And I can still initialize the tank, and it should still, yes, it still has my bucket of water in there. So just to show you guys that when forming a multi-tank, it's not the blocks that you use to make the multi-tank that stores the information, but the valves themselves. So if I break either one of these valves right here, like that, and then replace it, and look back in the tank, see this valve retained the information. So, but if I break both of these valves, place them back, and form the tank, I keep on single clicking, see I lost my water. So that's something that you're going to want to look out for. You can reform the tank around these valves, but you can't break these valves. Okay? So even if the rest of the tank is still formed and you break the valves, it will throw out the items out of the top of the tank that you had in there. So if you had any buckets or cans in there, it will still throw them out, but you'll lose the liquid inside of it. Alright, so I'm going to come over here and show you some cool properties with this nice big 12 by 12 by 12 tank, which is the biggest size of tank in Xycraft that you can make. Alright, so first off, we need to initialize this tank. Since we don't have a valve on it, we can take a valve and throw it right here. Alright, and so we can start putting liquids into this valve. Now, a cool interaction between the Xycraft's multi-tanks, and I need to initialize it here. And the Xycraft water is, if I put this here, it acts like a water source block on this valve. So right now it's filling up my tank, and I accidentally broke it there, so I'm just going to replace that and then break that and reinitialize the tank. So it will be filling up my tank slowly but surely with liquid, with the water that I need. Alright, so if I wanted to fill this whole tank up with water, all I'd have to do is put one on the top here, put a valve up here, like so, initialize the tank again, find my Xycraft water, put that there, and we're rocking and rolling. Alright, so that's a neat interaction. This will put water down here until the tank is full. Alright, so the next block I want to show off is a liquid detector, and this is right here. And what this does is it will detect when the liquid is risen up to that block and emit a redstone signal. Alright, and this is the crafting recipe. Pretty much any engineering brick that you can get, a valve, 2 redstone, and 2 quartz crystals. So I can put this right here, reinitialize the tank, and once the liquid covers this redstone or this liquid detector, it'll emit a redstone signal. So you could have, like, say, like this hooked up all the way at the top to show you when your tank is full, or when it's reached a certain point, or anything like that. And you could have it connected to like a lamp or anything. I know there's a bunch of different ideas that you could use with this, so that's really cool. So we're just gonna leave that right there. The next block, and there's a few more that I gotta show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys the item IO. So the item IO is a cool block that can interact with tanks, and I'm gonna show you the recipe. It is 4 engineering bricks, and it looks to be blue engineering bricks, 4 iron bars, and a chest. And because we're dealing with items here, it's gonna have a chest. So I'm just gonna place 2 in our tank right now and show you what you can do with them. So right now they're at the color of the item IO is white, and what this does is this allows you to interact with the inventory slots in your multi-tank. So right now I can throw in a bucket, and when I get some transport pipes, I can show you items moving in and out of the tank. So let me get some wooden. Let's get some wooden transport pipes really quickly here. Alright, so we've got a wooden transport pipe, and we can shift click this onto the inventory, and let's get a target gate. So let's type in gate, and I believe that's a diamond gate. Let's get a normal target gate. Alright, put the gate on there and just go redstone signal off, energy pulsar. Okay, and we should see items. Yes. So right now what's happening is the white function can either accept or it can either input or output items. So I could either input items from Buildcraft pipes into these item IOs, or I could output them from the white face. Now I can take my crescent hammer and actually change the colors on these item IOs. So see, I turn this one blue, and if I click this one twice, I can turn this to orange. And if anybody's used thermal expansion before, they'll know these colors as input and output for basic machines. So this item IO, when it's blue, you can turn it to an input, and when the item IO is orange, it will be an output. So just a proof of concept here. Let's get us some more pipes. So let's get iron transport pipes, a whole stack of them, and let's just get some more wooden transport pipes. Alright, not see the crafting recipe. Alright, And then let's get a nice little chest for us as well. Chest. Alright, so we're going to set some iron pipes off there. We're going to set a wooden pipe up to our chest, and then we're going to set a target gate on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set a wooden pipe onto the output, a target gate, and then iron pipes from there. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw some buckets into the system. So buckets and empty buckets. And this could actually be, empty buckets. Alright, so we're going to go into there, put that in there, and then set this target gate to redstone signal low, energy pulsar. And this one too, redstone signal low, energy pulsar. Just to pull items from the chest. Oh, and you know what I did? I did this backwards. So one second, guys. This is the input. See, I told you guys I mess up sometimes here. So let's change this all. But I can fix this really easily. So we're just gonna pick up all these items that are gonna be falling on the ground, reroute them over to the input. Yes, awesome. So it's gonna route them over to the input, and then we can then put this on the output, put a gate on there, energy pulse, and now we should be in business with these. So let's make sure our pipes do not connect. And then, the problem about iron pipes is you have to let them flow. So let's get them flowing into there. Replace our buckets, and then they should flow properly. Alright, awesome. And then, so they're flowing into the thing right now. Very slow pace. I should have probably used golden. They would have probably given me less trouble. And now we can get these to flow out properly. Alright, now these should be flowing out properly as well. So see, we're extracting. So these can automatically fill your buckets for you, and then you can send them wherever you want through BuildCraft pipes. So that's really neat and really cool. And let's see, is there anything else I want to show you guys? I believe that is it. So this is again Xycraft. It's a really cool industrial mod, and it has a bunch of other things coming to it, like a power system and just really cool things in the future headed for it. Yeah, so this is Brute with the Xycraft mod spotlight, and we're out.